Welcome back to Chicago Tomahawk. I'm Mike and I got my line mate Matt with me. And today we're going to go over the Blackhawks lottery chances. Then we're going to go over complete round 2 coverage of the Stanley Cup Playoffs. So Matt, tomorrow, or by the time people are listening to this, May 8th, it is the day. It is the lottery day. This has been the day that all Chicago Blackhawks fans have been waiting for. Connor Bedard Day, hopefully. D-Day.
Yep.
Draft Day. So Matt, I know that there is a lot of emphasis on the Blackhawks, trying to get that number 1 draft pick. They are currently have the 3rd best chances of getting the number 1 draft pick. They have an 11% chance of getting that lucky draft pick. So if the Blackhawks wind up 2nd, Matt, Adam Fantilli, I think, would be a very good consolation prize, but we do want Connor Bedard. Bedard is also kind of small, but we're looking for a scorer, and that's what he can be. He's supposed to be a generational player. Matt, what do you think about his size?
I don't think it's going to matter just because he's so good on his skates, good shot. And you know what? They didn't really worry about Patrick Kane's size back in the day, and look at the player he's turned out to be. So I think Connor Bedard is going to be just fine.
Now, like I said, we have the 3rd best chances. Do you think that, say, Anaheim gets Bedard, and then, we get bamboozled, and I think Columbus has the other 11% chance at number 2, and they take Fantilli. Is there anybody that you're looking at number 3?
Well, who's this Russian kid I keep hearing about?
I'm iffy about drafting Russians because you just never know. I think Ovechkin is like the outsider,
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if this kid is like ranked 3rd, I heard he's got like a contract locked up to like 2026. So, I mean, I'd rather him be here developing, not there. And I don't know if I like that because they got that agreement now. If he, you can't leave the KHL or anything, but yeah, man, I'm hoping for 1 and 2. If we get 3, then I guess we got to worry about it then.
Sure.
But it's going to be very interesting.
Of course, the doom and gloom from NBC Sports, Blackhawks more likely to fall than rise in the 2023 NHL draft lottery. There's like nothing good that comes out of.
I just don't get that. Like it's all about luck, and you're going to tell me that, oh no, the Hawks don't deserve it.
Right.
Oh, okay, why not? Oh, because of what happened. Oh, okay. So, I mean, they did everything they were supposed to do. They probably canceled too many guys.
Yeah.
Just to make everybody happy, and they still hate them.
Yeah.
So, I'm over that crowd. I hope the Hawks get the 1st round pick and just give a finger to the rest of the hockey world because what's done is done. They moved on. They've done right for whatever, and it's time to get past this stuff. These cancel culture people got to just shut up.
So
now.
You're talking about the Matvei Michkov from SKA St. Petersburg?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think he's locked up to 2026. That's the rumor. That's a long time, man. When you got a guy you kind of want to get him over here as soon as possible,
right.
At least in Rockford,
Right.
And if he's locked up, I don't think he can leave. I think that's their agreement.
Right. Yeah. There's this other kid, Leo Carlson, that I had been looking into a little bit ago. He's 6'3", 198 pounds, shoots left. That sounds, kind of what you want out of a center. I thought that's what we thought we were getting out of Kirby Dach. That's a different story. I'm not going to talk about about Kirby Dach, but kind of like his size, a guy who's that big, who can win faceoffs, which is essentially what we need. He's Swedish, but they say that his skating right now is below NHL average, which is something you don't want to hear. His puck skills are high end. His hockey sense is above NHL average, and his compete level is above NHL average. So he's a player comparable to Mikko Rantanen. If that's what we're looking for, a Mikko Rantanen type player at center, sounds good, man. It sounds something that we would, because you could always work on skating, can't you? I mean, I would think that you can.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can get a strength coach and work on your edges and stuff, building up your speed. But if there's a defenseman available and he is not like a Cale Makar like potential guy, don't bother. We need some offense.
Oh,
That's
this guy's
what I
a center.
hope. Kyle Davidson. No, I'm just saying if Kyle Davidson.
Okay, got you.
If it gets to that point where like, oh, there's a defenseman on the board and he's ranked, look, come on, we need some forwards now.
Yeah.
And we got some good defensive prospects from the last 2 seasons actually with this draft. So I hope they're all offense and yeah, I'm good with that Swedish guy if it's the right fit for sure.
So the Athletic has, I'm going to read who they have in their top 10 of projected draft class right now. Let's see. They have number 1, Connor Bedard. Number 2, they've got Adam Fantilli. Number 3, they have Matvey Michkov. 5'10", 192 pounds. Yeah, he's a small guy too. Leo Carlson, 6'3", 198. Center. William Smith, another center. A lot of centers here, man, in the top.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's very good.
Because it seems like there's just an influx of wingers at one point, and it's like you couldn't find a center anywhere.
Yeah.
We've got William Smith, center, USA, under 18 development group right now. Nate Danielson, center, number 6, 6'1", 185. And then at number 7, we have David Reinbacher, defenseman from Swiss, 6'2", 185. So in the top 7 right now, pretty much everybody's a center. So
that's a good thing for teams that are rebuilding,
right,
man, because centers are
hard.
Look at Taves. I mean, we had Taves and Bolin were our last good centers, I think, man, quite honestly. And they're hard to find. A good two-way center and an elite first-line guy, that's something you need. Because I don't think Reichel's got the job, man. I think they're going to move him to winger.
Yeah, I wonder if he's having problems with winning faceoffs.
It could be. I mean, he came from Germany. It's a lot different here. Maybe they're just trying to get him to learn the wing positions first, and maybe they can move him over.
Since he's a natural center?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's a position game, man. I think that it is. I think every team should center their that there should be an emphasis on controlling the puck. You control the puck by winning faceoffs.
Yep, that's the first step, and that's what all the good puck possession teams have. Good faceoff men. They have usually 4 of them, so that's what keeps it going.
Speaking of puck possession teams, we got Florida versus Toronto. Florida is currently leading 2-0 in that series, and I was not expecting that. I was expecting to be a 1 and then them kind of trade blows a little bit.
Trading off.
Yeah, but that has not been the case. It hasn't been a trade off. It has been absolute domination by Florida in the first 2 games, similar to how the Canes have been with the Devils, to be honest with you. It just seemed that Toronto is having a hard time getting their footing, and Game 3 is playing as of right now. That being said, it has been a pretty decent series. This is kind of a coming out party for Matthew Tkachuk, man, because Florida has been nothing but promise and broken lies, broken promises to their fan base going into the playoffs. And now they're in the second round and they're winning. There's a good chance that they could make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I did not see that coming at all. I thought that they were going to bow out in the first round. Matt, did you expect this kind of competition from Florida?
No. And Matthew Tkachuk must fed off all the negativity, and he is lighting it up right now, man.
He is.
15 points in 9 games, a +8. He has just been outstanding this playoff series. If he keeps it up, he's going to be a Conn Smythe winner if they win the cup, man. He's playing at that level. Unbelievable. He's
actually, as of right now, he's let me check his penalty minutes because he has not been in the box very much this playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. You don't hear too much about it.
Let me see here, Matthew Tkachuk.
His numbers are just so damn good. You're forgetting about the penalty
never mind.
minutes.
18 penalty minutes.
In 9 minutes. He must have got a couple 5-minute majors,
Yeah. In 9 games played. So, I guess Tkachuk Cheese doing his thing, man.
Doing his thing.
So Game 3 is going on right now. It's tied 2-2, 4:30 left in the third period. Both teams are pressing, man. How do you feel about Austin Matthews' play so far in this, not just this playoff series, but the playoffs in general?
I thought he was okay against Tampa. He scored some goals, but he's got to get it like Matthew Tkachuk level. Did he just score?
No, he just tried to between the legs.
So I think Mitch Marner's been the guy.
Yeah.
Even Johnny Tavares has been kind of taking it a little bit too. I mean, he was responsible for the game clinching. Was that game 6 that OT goal? He kind of took the team on his back on that one. But Mitch Marner's the guy. I think, man, they need this guy to get going too. And Ryan O'Reilly's been a little quiet, but he's still a very effective center.
Yeah.
And Samsonov, which I thought it was Samsonov.
Right.
I guess they changed the pronunciation of his name, but he's been good, man.
He has.
That was my thing. The goaltender for Toronto has never been good since Eddie Belfour days.
Right.
Felix Potvin even, you know.
Yeah.
So, but he's been playing good. He's been playing really good, but he's just being outplayed by a guy who everyone's kind of overlooked, Sergei Bobrovsky. I mean, I thought he could have been the third string goalie.
Yeah.
You know, when Spencer Knight coming up and he lost the job to this Lions kid. And then Bobrovsky just been phenomenal, dude. Really good. So it's been a good series still. I think the Cats might come out and probably get the win in this game and be up 3-0, which would be insane.
Yeah, nobody would have saw that coming. Like I said, I was expecting these guys to go back and forth. So, Stars versus Kraken. This series is tied at 1-1. That first game was a doozy. Joe Pavelski went off for 4 goals. I did not see that coming. That was his first game back from that hit that he took from Matt Dumba, and he's back, man. You know, he's such a big part of that team, especially in the playoffs. He's a proven playoff performer, and something I wanted to talk about was Jason Robertson has been doing his impression of a Houdini disappearing act. I have not seen the guy. I haven't noticed him at all. Have you?
No, I actually was saying it. He's been very quiet this series. First 2 games, I think he's only got a couple shots. He's got no points or anything.
Nothing.
So this guy needs to get going. Rupe Hintz needs to. I think their line mates, they need to get something going. Jake Ottinger's a good goalie. I don't know, man. I don't know what this series is going to do. The Kraken just surprised me because they got different guys scoring every night. Yeah. And that's a sign of a good team. Got a lot of depth and guys rise to the occasion and score some goals that you wouldn't expect, like a 4th line guy scoring, a defenseman scoring a big goal. Yeah. And Grubauer, man, I mean, he's not playing amazing, but he's playing enough to get the win. He's keeping, within 1. So he's got some experience. I think he probably feels cheated out because he didn't get the Stanley Cup with the Avalanche. They didn't want to pay him, and he went over to Seattle, and they were kind of bad their first year, but this year they've been good, man. Very surprising.
Yeah.
So he's probably got a little motivation to prove these teams wrong that kind of overlooked them.
Well, the Kraken had 14 different goal scorers in that first round, which goes to show you that this is a team, man, that from top to down, they can hurt you. And it's not just the first 2 lines looking to score. Everybody can. And that's a dangerous team to play against, especially when you're a team like Edmonton, for example, that's got essentially Leon Draisaitl doing everything, offense-wise. I was not expecting to see the Kraken play the way that they are playing from top to down. Grubauer has been, like you said, not amazing, but good enough to win games for this team. I'm expecting the Kraken to come out of this series, man. I think this could go 7 games. It's going to be a hard series, but I've been surprised that Jamie Benn has been kind of quiet, man. I've seen him give some hits, but I haven't seen him have any quality scoring chances. Mind you, it's still young. The series is still young, but I'm expecting to see more out of him going forward.
Yeah, he's not the dominant guy he used to be. Him and Sagan were just money together.
Right.
Sagan, I think he did score last game.
Yeah, he did. He had 1 goal.
He's still showing some shades of he wants to be around, and yeah, Jamie Benn just isn't that same guy. He is older, so he's still, what he kind of reminds me of, like he's kind of making like a transition into being like a Corey Perry type of guy. Like he's a kind of a pest out there. He's not like that big goal scorer like he used to be, but he's still he still can be a presence with his physicality, his agitating sense. I don't know, but I seen a video of him just kind of trolling a guy while they were down. He was throwing shots at him and stuff.
Oh, really?
He's still an effective guy, I think. But you're not. I think Jason Robertson has to be that old Jamie Benn. He's got to kind of take the team on his back with the offense,
right.
And Rupe Hintz kind of switching off with Sagan. But yeah, Joe Pavelski's still a beast. I say this too much. I don't know how in the hell the Sharks can let that guy go. The guy is he's just a great hockey player, and you know what? He really elevates his game in the playoffs, and that's what you need. Good for Dallas for making a move to get him, because ever since he's been there, I feel like Dallas has been in the playoffs.
Right,
so,
right.
Great move by
Kachuk.
Yeah.
Like that one guy that they needed.
Just a guy that just knows what to do, and that's what you want. And good for Dallas, because that was a solid signing by them.
Moving on, it's funny you were talking about, a player, giving blows while they were down. Evander Kane was doing that the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
I did. I seen him throwing some like kidney shots.
Yeah, it was actually like
on the boards.
It was like those were like belly shots.
Yeah, and then he's not a Vegas fan, is a woman,
right?
Just sticking her middle finger out.
Yeah,
at him,
I saw that too.
He blows a kiss to her like, "Oh, look at the score, baby. I got nothing to worry about." Just like the ultimate like "F you too," but in a nicer way.
Yeah, she was giving the double birds to him.
Double birds, and he blew her a kiss, and she went home pissed off after that because he won both battles.
Yeah, he did.
The mind and the game.
Yeah, he did, definitely.
Yep.
So before we go any further, I got to let you guys know we have a message from DraftKings. Light the lamp during the hockey playoffs with DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, new customers can make a $5 bet and score $150 in bonus bets instantly. Now, a couple games to look out for Monday. We got the money line for the Golden Knights is a plus 145 and the Oilers is a minus 170. Honestly, both of these teams have, shellacked each other so far. And as I think those are pretty good odds. Edmonton has so much firepower with McDavid and Draisaitl, but Vegas has some guys that they can rely on in Mark Stone and Chandler Stevenson. On Tuesday, we got the Hurricanes, and they have a plus 135 odds on the Devils at a minus 155. I think that's fair as well because Carolina's typically not a good on the road. New Jersey might be trying to pull what they did in the first round, giving 2 games, then running away with it. So what you need to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code THPN. New customers can make a $5 hockey playoff bet and score $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's code THPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050 or visit gambling helpline at m.org. In New York, call 1-877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Kansas, call 1-800-522-4700. On behalf of Boost Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Now, Canes versus Devils. Canes have been absolutely murdering the Devils in the first 2 games. It wasn't pretty. It was essentially kind of a deja vu for the Devils from the first round. And you know what? The Devils came back in game 3 and shellacked the Canes 8-4. Matt.
Wow.
Did you see that coming, my man? I did not.
I thought, I thought the Canes were going to be up 3-0.
Yeah.
Just the way that they were playing in game 2.
Right.
I feel like it was keep away. Yeah. Like, where are the Stars at here for New Jersey? Like, where the hell, where are you guys? That Kotkaniemi, this kid was on fire for the Hurricanes. He was everywhere.
Right.
And I think he scored 2 that game, and it didn't even. It was look like men's hockey. It was like odd man rushes back and forth. Canes would bury him. They were. I think they hit the post on one, and I think Schmid was in the net, and it bounced out to another Hurricane. They fired it, hit a post, and then another. It finally goes in, but I'm like, this poor goalie is up and down, throwing the body this way, and like, where's the defense? Like, help this poor kid.
Right.
And I think they ended up putting in Vanacek, and it just got worse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I did not expect the Devils to. Well, I mean, they had to respond, and Jack Hughes looks like he finally kind of woke up. He got 4 points, I think, and Timo Meier hit the score sheet.
Finally.
He's finally scored a goal, and I mean, didn't they pay this guy big bucks too? Maybe they should have waited till after the playoffs. Yeah. He got a little comfortable. Like, hey, I got my money. It's all good. But
yeah, he didn't score at all in the first round, and finally he broke through today. Same with Nico Hischier, I believe.
Yeah. They need him to start scoring some goals too, because I think he got 40 this year.
Yeah,
no?
he did.
I think I know majority were with the Sharks, but still a good goal scorer. They need.
Let me check on Timo Meier, but I was talking about Nico Hischier.
Oh, Nico, I don't know. I know Timo Meier is. I think he scored more with the Sharks, obviously, because he played majority of the year there before the deadline.
Right.
But I think it was close to 40, and he was probably one of the number one guys. Teams were targeting at the deadline, and it was worked out for New Jersey because I also heard the Rangers wanted him too. that shit show.
So he had 31 goals in.
Okay.
Well, with the Sharks, 57 games played, 21 games played with New Jersey, and he got 9. So, yeah, he was a 40-goal scorer. And,
that's huge.
Yeah, minus 19, though. In San Jose, he was a minus 19. In New Jersey, he was 0, even. Now, let me look up Nico Hischier.
So he's not known. Yeah, Nico's the captain.
Yeah, he is.
Which it's kind of odd, but... they remind me a lot of the young Hawks back in the day, man.
Yeah, 31 goals for Nico Hischier. So yeah, he should be putting up something.
What do you think? Tie, or are they gonna kind of?
I think they're gonna tie it, man. I think that they're gonna tie it purely because for some reason the Canes can't play on the road.
I think Rod Brindamore is such a good coach. He is not going to let that team get embarrassed like they did today. So I think the Canes are going to win the next game.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I got money on New Jersey for the next one. That's what I'm going to do.
Well, yeah, if you're going by history, that's what they did last series, and a lot of people overlooked them, and I think I was one of them because I was just hoping for Kaner,
right,
to get to that Eastern Conference final and maybe Stanley Cup final. But I don't know, man. Just Carolina's a different team. They're just the only thing lately is the goaltending.
Yeah. Like,
man, is Ranta hurt like every other game? It seems like what's up with this kid? I think he's hurt again.
Wow.
So
yeah,
I don't know.
Purely because they cannot play on the road. I'm going to call I'm going to call another win for New Jersey. Go back to Carolina. We're going to win one. They're going to win one, Carolina. And then I think that New Jersey is going to steal one, man, in Carolina and then win it at home.
So you think they're going to take the series?
Yes.
And then get bounced out by Florida?
Yes. Possibly, yes. With the team that Florida is, I think that they could definitely beat the Devils. But then again, I don't know if the Devils are like just waiting 2 games in the series and like, okay, let's see what these guys are. Okay, we've got the scouting report. We know what they're all about now. Let's do the switcheroo with the rope-a-dope or what have you.
Well, to be honest, man, like I said, the 2009 Hawks, we beat Calgary 2-0 the first 2 games. And then they beat us 2 in a row. And then, we won the next 2 games like New Jersey did with, I believe, the Rangers. Unless it went 7. But they have a lot of similarities to me, man. They got their Dougie Hamilton, like our Brian Campbell at the time, our big signing. Sure. And our young Kaner was, starting to blossom like Jack Hughes. And Nico Hischier's like that leader, like Taser. Taser is obviously way better,
right? I think Kaner is way better than
Timo Meier, your Marian Hossa like guy. It's kind of crazy if you think about it, man.
Yeah. I think Timo Meier is supposed to be the the difference maker to take this team to the next level. And with him not scoring, I don't think that has helped this team. If he does start scoring, if Nico Hischier starts scoring, I think that this team is really hard to play against, man. Really hard.
Yeah. Young, fast, and, the nerves probably aren't there because they're, like the Hawks were, it was new to them. They didn't know what to do. They just went out and win, I mean.
They've got nothing. That's kind of what they don't have any how do you say, any pressure from the fan base.
No, there's no pressure throughout the hockey world either. I mean, no, I didn't expect these guys to do this.
Not like Toronto.
No, I mean, Toronto's got all the pressure right now, and
their fan base, city.
Carolina's got the pressure too, because I mean, look, they were supposed to win the last 3 years.
Yeah,
they were supposed to be they are Stanley Cup contenders, and they keep choking. So it's like the second round curse with them. So if anything, if I'm on the Devils, I'm loose, man.
Yeah,
I'm going out and having a good time. Pressure's on you guys. We're not even supposed to be here.
If the Canes lose again in the second round, Matt, what do you think that they have to do as an organization? Do you think Rod Brindamore's on the hot seat?
No. I think he is fine. He's just beloved there, and he's not the issue. Hey, honestly, man, you got to get a healthy goalie.
Yeah.
I mean, if Rant is still getting hurt, Anderson's hurt, you can't be paying these guys big bucks just to, screw you over in the playoffs. You got to find somebody. And you know what? I'm going to throw a name out there. If you go and get Connor Hellebuck, I think you're going to win a Stanley Cup. And hey, I'm not going to start rumors or anything, but obviously we talked about this last podcast. He's not interested in a rebuild.
No.
And if he wants to go to a win now team, Carolina should make a trade with the Jets, because if they don't win this year, which they have a good shot of winning, it's working out for them. All the good teams that would probably beat them are gone. They're eliminated. So this is their year, and if you don't win, bye Ranta, bye Anderson, give a prospect a first round pick, and hey, Connor Hellebuck, get him in net. I got Carolina winning the cup next year then.
Wow. If, just the idea of, Hellebuck, he holds the power, doesn't he? Is he a restricted free agent?
I believe he will. Man, I'm not sure. He's been playing for a while. He might be a UFA. So, I mean, now is the time to trade the guy.
Right.
Because Jets aren't there. They're not even close. They made the playoffs barely. But if you want to rebuild and, load up on some picks, this is probably the time to do it because his value is very high.
Man. Really interesting stuff, man. Doing some possible trades, or
Hey, I mean, if you got to get over that hump and you need a healthy goalie,
yeah.
I'm going after Connor Hellebuck, no doubt about it. I think their offense is fine. Brent Burns is a great defenseman. Great pickup by the Canes. He's been very, very good this.
He's 38
playoffs.
Though, so he could be going. He could go down quick.
I don't know about that though, man. He's not like a fast guy, but he's always just in the right spots.
Right.
He's very good. His numbers are good too, man.
Yeah,
he's
they
getting
are.
2 assists every game. He's that damn good still, and he's that game breaker on defense that they've needed for a while. I know Max Pacioretty is hurt. He's always hurt,
he is.
And they might have to move on from this guy too.
Yeah,
and, get some salary space and bring in some difference makers here.
Incredible.
Hey, they're not out of it yet.
No,
though.
absolutely not. I'm just saying, if they do,
we're not throwing them under the bus yet.
If they do, that they need to make some changes, and a goal is definitely it.
The
Ranta
getting hurt at the wrong times is not, and same with Anderson. You guys.
I think he's done.
You gotta be healthy. It's not working out.
I think he's done in Carolina. So Vegas versus Oilers. This is the Oilers are a more offense type of a thing. This series is tied 1-1. Golden Knights took the first game with a score of 6-4, but the score doesn't really show because it was really a beatdown on the Oilers. I was really surprised. I thought Oilers were going to come out and do a statement first game win. That wasn't the case. But in game 2, the Oilers came back and they put the beat down on the Knights 5-1. Matt, Leon Draisaitl has been, I don't know if this guy has left his body, and the ghost of hockey past is playing him, the hockey gods himself. He's been on a complete tear, man, the entire playoffs. He had 4 goals in that first game. Incredible. Do you think that this is causing problems with McDavid? Because McDavid is supposed to be the guy there. He is supposed to. He's supposed to be their savior, and he's not. To be honest with you, man, he's not holding up. He hasn't really done shit in the playoffs this year.
Well, he's going to get a ton of assists just because Draisaitl can, bury him.
Right.
Yeah. You feel bad for Draisaitl because it's always the McDavid show. It's McDavid's team, and this guy might be better.
Yeah.
If anything, this guy is, carrying the team on his back right now.
Yeah.
And so, if anything, McDavid should be buying this guy some ribeye dinners every night because that last game was a beatdown by the Oilers.
McDavid's got 5 goals and 10 assists. Okay, so he has been playing well, but I don't think that he's played well in games where they have needed production. Do you know what I mean? Like,
he's got to dominate,
right?
He's just got to take over like he does in some season games where he is. 1 mile an hour and jets it to 90, like in one stride. It's playoffs. It's tighter. They're more physical. So it's kind of exposing him a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but Draisaitl, it doesn't seem to be affecting him.
Not at all.
He's just a monster, dude. He's a monster.
It's almost as if the offense is running through him.
Yeah. He's just absolutely a monster. And he's, I guess you consider him the second best player in the world. It's crazy, and they're both on the same team. But I just you got to feel for him. I don't think it's affecting him. I think McDavid is, like I said, he should buy him steak dinners and beers every night because, God, he shows up every game. It seems like McDavid might not. He'll be a no-show, but Draisaitl's right there, dude. He's a force.
He's got 13 goals in 8 games.
You know what? I saw a stat in the last 4 seasons. I think he has 60 points in his all of his playoff games. I think.
Wow.
I think 60 or I could have been wrong, but it was still the points over the games played was like, what? Like, is this NHL 2023 on EA Sports or something? This is insane. And rookie mode, he's just a monster.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got 17 points. Doesn't have many helpers, but he's been putting the puck in the net, man, and that's what they've been needing. But the only problem is that up until the last game, he was the only one that was really consistently doing it. And I'm just looking for more production out of Connor. Yeah, he's got 10 assists, but we're talking about a guy who is, the best player in the league. This team needs major point production out of him because they're not built for production out of many other players. Evander Kane hasn't really been doing much. Let me look at his stats. But he was supposed to be secondhand scoring for this team, and that hasn't been the case. Not in the playoffs.
Got 2 last night,
right?
But it's his 5th goal.
Yeah, but it was 5-1. I'm talking about when they're down like 4-1 and they need a goal. He's not scoring them. And I think that's what they need. 8 games played, 3 goals, 1 assist from Evander Kane. They need more out of him.
This is the funny thing. McDavid gets 2. He gets a power play and a shorty, but Draisaitl gets 2 even strength goals for his 13th. It's like, yeah, go ahead, McDavid. You could score 2. I'm just going to score 2 even strength.
Yeah.
Because I don't need special teams.
That shorty's a nice one, though. So
yeah, oh yeah.
So Vegas, on the other hand, they're a more complete team. They are, just up and down, man. That they have depth, not to the level of the Kraken, but I think that they have depth where, Jack Eichel doesn't have to worry about him being the only guy putting up some numbers. I don't think he's really been putting up many numbers, but Mark Stone has been having a really good playoff run, man, and so is Chandler Stevenson. Very quietly, though. Do you think that Mark Stone is fully healed and maybe back to his old self?
I think so. The back is, oh man, it's got to be the worst injury in hockey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Eichel, man, he's been pretty quiet. He's got 7 points in 7 games, but I mean, this is the guy who went behind McDavid in that deep draft,
Right.
and nowhere near where he's supposed to be.
Right.
And
a -1.
Yeah, he's not anything special. Mark Stone's got 11 points. Yeah, he's. I didn't realize he's only 30. I thought he was a little bit older, but yeah, he's been a good leader for the Knights. Kind of surprised that they're not throwing Phil Kessel in there.
Yeah,
I know he's been scratched a couple times, and I think he's like kind of reminds me of a Pavelski. And I mean, he when he's in the playoffs, he's good.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a good player. So the thing is, I like their defense. I like Shea Theodore. I like Pietrangelo. Well, I like Pietrangelo now.
Right.
I hated him on the Blues, but Alec Martinez, who's a Stanley Cup champ 2-time with the LA Kings, just a good guy to have on the back end. And the thing is, the goaltending. They got this Broswat guy, and can you imagine if they had Leonard right now, a healthy Robin Leonard? I just think they'd be a force too.
Yeah,
like I would be like, Vegas is winning. There's no doubt about it. They're like the most complete team out here.
Wow.
But Laurent Brossoit, he is 5-2 in the playoffs. Goals against average isn't that great. It's a 3.21. But hey, you score 5 goals a game, you got a good chance to win, and that's what they did against the Oilers game 1. So just gotta keep on keeping on, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I still think the Oilers are going to come on top in this series, but I think Vegas is going to give them a really hard time.
Yeah, it's going to trade off, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go 7.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll call it 7. Matt, how do you rate the playoffs so far?
Man, I'll give it a B+ because it's just so surprising. It's just been like, man, all the top dogs are on the verge of getting eliminated, especially out east.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been good, man. I wish, obviously the Hawks were in it, but still very good hockey. And it's been fun to watch.
I'd give it an A-. I've been really happy watching these games, especially with the Rangers going out in the first round.
Speaking of that, we got to talk about that.
Toronto and Florida, man, we're looking at 2 teams that, a lot of hope for them, but also these guys are known chokers, and they got past their first round. Ironically, they're playing each other right now, and they're playing each other really well. Stars, Kraken, the Stars, I wasn't expecting them to get out of. Wait, I was expecting them to get out of the first round. They were playing the Wild. And the Kraken, man, I did not expect this team to be who they are. It makes it really entertaining because you're watching the squad and they're playing like a great team up and down, like Vegas, up and down, a lot of depth and a lot of different guys scoring. You can't predict who's going to score in these games. And they're doing this without Jared McCann, their number 1 goal scorer, who's injured right now. So,
yeah, likely to be out for Game 3. They said.
Yeah, it's too bad for them because they need him, but they're still winning games without him. They're pulling it together, and I love it, man. I think it's.
I got a live update for you here,
what?
Bud. Ilya Samsonov, he's out.
Right,
he's out. So, rookie goaltender in. This could be bad, very bad for the Leafs.
Jeez. Or look at what Akira Schmidt was able to do in New Jersey, though.
Sometimes you see that goalie get in and you tighten up for him, and you're like, hey, we gotta play, real strong in front of this kid, get a W here, and hopefully the Leafs can do it. And then it just doesn't look good. And it does not look good.
Next thing you know, this kid's standing on his head, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, and he takes over.
And he motivates you. It's like, holy smoke, look at this guy. You just came in completely cold and turned it around. I mean, it could be, you could, you could tie it to Akira Schmidt playing out of his mind, or you could just say that the Rangers were, destined to flop.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really interesting, man. You know, the Rangers are very interesting out of every team that's been bounced out so far, because you weren't a lot of people were not expecting them to get bounced in the first round. I was. They had several stretches during the season where things weren't going their way, and it wasn't looking good, and they turned it around, and it changed a bit. But in the playoffs, they lost that third game, and I was like, uh-oh, this could be it. Next thing you know, they're down 3-2, heading to New Jersey in a must-win game with an offense that is not clicking. And I'm going to tell you something, man, and it's something that I've always believed in. I don't think that the Breadman is a gamer, man. I don't think that he is. He'll put up points in the regular season, and if you're up 4-2, sure, he'll get you another goal or get you an assist. But when the game is on the line, man, he is nowhere to be found. Nowhere. This is multiple times in a row, man. The Hawks were in the playoffs 1 year with him, and he did nothing.
Yeah.
So, they're talking.
We got a live update.
I see it. Florida just won 3-2.
Oh. Get the brooms ready.
Can you believe that?
Oh, God. Oh, I guess when you knock out the best team in NHL history in the season, you just don't give a shit.
No.
You're going to roll through everybody, and this is crazy. This is crazy. Wow.
Florida, man. This is a team, man, that has been looking to make a deep playoff run for years. They've had a good squad for, I would probably say, 4 years now. Would you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Since Matthews has been a rookie.
Yeah.
You think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. They've had a good squad, but they haven't been able to do anything in the playoffs. They trade Jonathan Huberdeau, who scored over 100 points, for Matthew Tkachuk, who likes to spend time on the penalty box. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is a good move. That was like that shakeup maybe that this team needed.
God, and they got, they got enough to get in, just enough. And this is insane. I cannot believe it.
I don't know how I feel about Luongo over there.
How many teams in all like combined sports? Like, there's not too many teams.
Oh, look at David Camp.
Come back from David Camp and Gustafsson.
He got a goal today, but it was like bounced off of somebody else, and he got credit for it.
Sam Lafferty got the goal.
Yeah, he had a goal, and then Camp, he was like standing there, getting ready to. I think it bounced off of somebody, and he got credit for one. Is that Kevin Dineen on the bench for the for the Panthers?
I don't know. I know their head coach Paul Maurice.
Those one of Q's guys.
Sold on him. Yeah, it could be.
I got to look at that coaching staff.
Well, jumping back to, didn't mean to cut you off, but I had to give you the live update. Jumping back to the Rangers. Yeah, I mean, I don't hear a lot of blame to the Breadman on the Twitter universe.
Oh, dude.
I hear a lot of blame. To Tarasenko, Kaner.
Yeah.
They hate Kaner again.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And Gerard Gallant. And you know what? That team is way too deep to be blaming a coach.
Or two rentals.
Two rental guys, and one of them's playing on one hip,
right? And
he was still not, he's still effective. He had some good moments in the playoffs, but I could have told you that wasn't going to work out. I mean, Kaner kind of ruined a little chemistry. If anything, they stuck him in with the Breadman, and I wanted to see it, of course, the reunite of the Kaner and the Breadman show, but. It might have hurt some chemistry here and there. I thought Tarasenko was the guy that I thought that was the right move at the time, and I thought they were done. After that, I thought, hey, that's a good trade. They need a shooter, and then they brought Kaner in because Kaner was kind of making a big deal, like, hey, I want to go there, and I credit Chris Jury, dude. I mean, he did everything he could to get that team over the hump. He brought in two studs. 2 Stanley Cup champions. And you know what? They just couldn't get it done. New Jersey was more hungry. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think I don't blame Kaner and Tarasenko. I think the blame goes on.
There's studs.
Yeah.
It has to. It has to go to Panarin.
Kreider.
It has to go to Zibanejad.
Kreider, Zibanejad was a complete no-show.
I mean, it's been like this the last, 2-3 years? They made it to the... I was arguing with a guy, we made it to the Eastern Conference Final. You fucking lost, dude. That's nothing. No one remembers that except you Ranger fans. you got to win it.
Right.
And they're happy with, fourth place, third place. And I'm sorry, dude. That's not a Stanley Cup championship. So, I mean, I don't know what you do, dude. I've heard rumors they want to bring in Coach Q. Yeah, Coach Q's going to help, but when it comes down to it, your player's got to play.
Right.
He can't play for him. So I don't know, man. I don't know what you do with that situation. They're cap tied too. So who knows?
I think if who is it that they've got that could shed 10 million, I believe. I forgot who it is.
I know Trouba's making 8. He's their captain.
Can you believe that, dude?
Him. They like him.
Trouba's making 8 million on that squad. There's problem number 1.
I know that they got Mika is making good money. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that
he's a great regular season
Igor
performer.
is. Panarin's making 11. Kreider's got to be. I think he's on his 1-year deal only. He's doing 1-year deals here and there. I think he's close to 8. It's what do you do, dude? I don't know what you do. And then you got DeAndre Miller, who's going to be a very good player.
Yeah,
very good defenseman, an all-star this year.
They're gonna lock him up.
You ain't gonna. There's no way. There's no way they're gonna get to keep this guy. There's no way unless you move these other guys. Which, I mean, the cat's out of the bag. You guys don't perform in the playoffs. Why am I gonna make a freaking trade to get you?
Right.
I would make it harder on the Rangers and make them trade young guys, and then ruin their future. But I think I saw something. Lafreniere, he had 0 goals, 0 assists,
nothing.
0. Just that's a guy who went number 1.
1-1.
It was a COVID years and everything, but
the whole kid line. They talked about that whole kid line like they were the second coming, and they didn't do anything.
Nope. The inexperience showed for sure in the playoffs.
I'm just not, I didn't buy it for that line. The problem is that they relied on their scorers to score. None of them did. And none of these individual lines showed up.
No. I you know what? I did see Kaner score a very nice goal, and I got a little hope for them after that. He stole the puck, made a good defensive play, which is not like Kaner, not like him. And he went and scored a beautiful highlight reel goal. I'm like, oh God, they got Showtime back. And then Rangers kind of faded off after that.
Yeah.
And Igor, I'm sorry, he is not the best goalie in the world.
No, he's not.
He is not. And I'm just so sick of hearing that. Very good goalie, yes, elite top 5. He's not the best.
Yeah.
Until you win a cup, you're not even in that category. That's why I consider the last couple seasons or the last couple years, Jonathan Quick, Corey Crawford, 2 of the best goalies in the last couple of years. They got 2 Stanley Cups each. They got it done. And you know what? Even Quick won a couple of Vezas. Crawford, which I've never really been a big fan of his goaltending, his style. Never been a fan of it, really. But guy was so overlooked and undervalued. He was just such a solid goalie. He was. So, yeah, I'm sick of hearing that Igor crap. Like, Igor's better. No, he's not. He hasn't done anything to steal. He didn't steal any series at all in the last couple seasons. So,
yeah.
So, good for New York. They're very cocky and arrogant. I mean, I thought even the Islanders played a little bit better than them in the playoffs this year. Yeah. And they have nobody.
They're kind of like the Kraken. They've got more depth, and they've got more of a complete team. Whereas New York, I don't know what to make of that squad, man. They've got some first round picks that have gone first, second, multiple, and I don't know if it's been like their development, but Kravtsov, I don't know where he was drafted at, but they got a lot of guys that aren't performing, and that's the problem.
No, it is, and they're making big bucks, and it's hard to move that stuff. It's hard. Like, what do you do?
Yeah,
you just I don't know where you start. You shake it up. They're going to try bringing in another coach. I don't think the coaching is the problem. I really don't.
Maybe Gallant just didn't know how to utilize this team. Or maybe
he did a pretty good job.
I mean,
he put together good lines.
He did. But the problem is
the roster there.
I don't understand the roster. Like the whole kid line, I think that they can get 3 other players that can fill that line. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, the only reason that they're playing is because of when they were drafted. If these guys were 5th round draft picks, 6th round draft picks, they wouldn't even be on the team. But because they were drafted in the 1st round, all of them, they're like, okay, we got to play these guys. And you know what? It's not working out for all of them. They need 3 new guys for that line, man. They need 3
I don't think they have a choice because they got so much money invested in these other guys. They just got to plug in like league minimum guys.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I know they brought the Tyler Mott guy, a former Blackhawk, actually. Right. He's been good for them. I know they brought him back from Ottawa. I'm surprised they got rid of him. He's a very good playoff guy. I don't know where you start. I mean, if anything, I'm keeping the young defenseman. I'm keeping Miller because, I mean, the guy was an all-star this year. He's a very good player. He's a good shot, plays 2 ways, plays the position the right way.
Right.
Trouba, they like him.
They do.
They like the old school banger, who's going to wait for you with your head down and just plow you.
Yeah.
They like that. But, he doesn't score much. He's not a big point guy, but he's getting paid good money to do what he's doing. And I think it's hurting the team a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, man. Incredible, man. It's like, I think that they have a lot of work that they need to do. And the first thing that they need to do is come to grips with what they have with that kid line. And
Kaner ain't coming back.
No, he said that he'd like to, but I don't think he's
How do you do it?
Yeah.
How do you do it? I mean, he's not going to play for free.
Right.
And I don't see him being a contender. If you can't win with that roster, you're never winning. Right. I'm sorry. That top 6, there's no way. You don't deserve to win.
They moved the Breadman. He's 32. I think he's he didn't play well, man, at all.
No.
He's completely disappearing act. I say they trade him. You free up that roster spot. You free up about what's he making? Like 11 or 12 million?
I think 11. Yeah.
So that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money to free up. Get rid of this freaking kid line and sign some guys. Some depth guys like a Ryan O'Reilly.
You know what? That would be a guy that I'd be after.
Yeah. And
I'd go after another good backup goalie that you don't have to rely on Igor to win you 70 freaking games.
Right.
They had one. He's going to win.
They had one. They had Georgiev.
And they moved him. Joe Sakic went for it. And I thought it was a good trade for them. But, you got to get like a Tampa, like a Brian Elliott, a guy who's been there. And, if Vasilevsky needs a break, which he doesn't like breaks.
Yeah.
Brian Elliott will get you some wins. So, yeah, that's the thing, man. I think Tampa's still a good team. I think they're just tired. You watch next year with all the rest, they're going to come back hungry. I think Tampa's going to come back very hungry.
They need an infusion of youth.
Yeah, they do.
Well, all right, man. That's all that we got for you tonight, everybody. Do us a favor if you have not, subscribe to the podcast, and we'll catch you on the next one. This is the Tomahawk. We're out of here.